Tonight, the wait is finally over. Bruno Mars is back on the road in the United States, and this time, the stage is one of the biggest and most anticipated stops of the romantic tour. East Rutherford, New Jersey, is about to become the center of the music world as Bruno Mars returns to MetLife Stadium for the first show of the second half of his US tour. And this is not just another concert night. This is the return of the romantic tour. Bruno Mars is set to take over MetLife Stadium tonight, Friday, August 21st, 2026, with the show scheduled for 7 p.m. The lineup is already creating major excitement, with RAYE and Anderson Paak performing as DJ Paak, we joining Bruno for the night. Official listings from MetLife Stadium, Live Nation, and Bruno Mars tour schedule confirm the August 21st date, along with additional MetLife shows on August 22nd, 25, and 26. So before we get into everything happening tonight, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is where we break down the biggest Bruno Mars news, the romantic tour updates, live concert moments, special guests, and everything happening around one of the most anticipated stadium tours of 2026. Because tonight is about more than a concert. It is about the next chapter. Bruno Mars has already taken the romantic tour across massive stages, major cities, and international audiences. But after the European and UK portion of the tour, the spotlight is now moving back to America. And the first stop? MetLife Stadium. The energy around East Rutherford has been building for days. Fans have been preparing, tickets have been circulating, stadium operations have been getting ready, and Bruno Mars fans from New Jersey, New York, and beyond are converging on the venue for a night that has been marked on the calendar for months. The official MetLife Stadium schedule lists Bruno Mars for August 21st, August 22nd, August 25th, and August 26th. The venue describes the romantic tour as Bruno's first full headlining tour in nearly a decade following the massive 24K Magic World Tour, and importantly, his first full headlining stadium tour. That detail changes everything, because Bruno Mars is no longer simply returning to the road. He is proving that his music can fill stadiums on a completely different scale. Think about the atmosphere inside MetLife Stadium tonight. Thousands upon thousands of fans entering through the gates. Phones already recording. Merchandise moving. Crowds gathering around the stadium. Fans wearing Bruno Mars-inspired outfits. And then, slowly, the anticipation begins to rise. The lights go down. The conversations become quieter. The giant screens come alive. And suddenly, everyone realizes the same thing. Bruno Mars is back. This is where the story gets even more interesting, because Bruno isn't returning to the United States alone. One of the biggest reasons tonight has become such a major talking point is the lineup. RAYE is part of the show. Anderson Paak is also part of the lineup, appearing as DJ P.We. That combination immediately adds another layer to the night. RAYE brings a completely different musical identity to the stadium. Known for her powerful vocals, emotional songwriting, and genre-blending sound, she has become one of the most recognizable voices in contemporary British music. For fans who have followed her rise, seeing RAYE appear on the same concert bill as Bruno Mars is already a major moment. But then there is Anderson Paak, and this name carries a completely different kind of weight. Anderson Paak is not just another special guest. He is Bruno Mars' Silk Sonic partner. Together, Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak created one of the most celebrated modern R&B collaborations through Silk Sonic, turning songs such as Leave the Door Open into global hits and Grammy-winning moments. Now, Anderson Paak is returning to the road alongside Bruno in his DJ P.We persona. Official MetLife and Live Nation listings identify the lineup as Bruno Mars, RAYE, and DJ P.We, with DJ P.We being Anderson Paak. And that is where the anticipation becomes even bigger, because every time Anderson Paak and Bruno Mars share the same stage, fans naturally start wondering what could happen. Will there be a Silk Sonic moment? Could there be a surprise performance? Could the crowd hear something unexpected? Nobody should assume a surprise is guaranteed, but the history between these two artists is enough to make fans watch every second. And that uncertainty is part of what makes tonight so exciting. The official lineup is clear. The surprises? Those belong to the stage. Now let's zoom out for a moment. The Romantic Tour is not just another Bruno Mars tour. It represents a major return. MetLife Stadium itself describes the 2026 run as Bruno's first full headlining tour in nearly a decade after the 24K Magic World Tour. The stadium also describes this as his first full headlining stadium tour, with the overall tour spanning nearly 40 shows across North America, Europe, and the UK. That means tonight carries historical significance for Bruno's touring career. For years, fans knew Bruno Mars primarily through arenas, festivals, residencies, award shows, television appearances, and massive global performances. Now, the scale is different. Stadiums. Huge stadiums. And MetLife is one of the biggest stages on this US schedule. The venue has already confirmed 4 Bruno Mars shows in East Rutherford because of demand. August 21st, August 22nd, August 25th, and August 26th. For nights. One city. One superstar. And a massive audience ready to sing every word. That alone tells you something about the demand surrounding Bruno Mars in 2026. But there is another reason tonight feels different. Bruno is not simply performing the classics. The Romantic Tour is also connected to his latest musical era. The tour supports his album The Romantic, giving fans the opportunity to experience newer material alongside the songs that made Bruno Mars one of the biggest pop stars on the planet. That creates an interesting challenge for any artist. How do you introduce new music without losing the emotional connection fans have with the classics? How do you make a stadium audience connect with songs they may have heard only recently? And how do you transition from a brand new Bruno Mars song into a track that millions of people already know by heart? That is where Bruno's live performance style becomes so important. Because Bruno Mars has always understood the architecture of a concert. The opening, the build-up, the big chorus, the dance break, the emotional slowdown, the band interaction, the crowd participation, and then the explosion. Tonight, that formula returns to MetLife Stadium. And if you've ever seen Bruno Mars perform live, you already know that the show is rarely just about standing on stage and singing. It is a production, a performance, a visual experience, a musical celebration. And tonight, every part of that production has the responsibility of making a massive stadium feel intimate. That is not easy. A small theater can feel personal. An arena can feel enormous. But a stadium? A stadium can feel almost impossible to control. The audience stretches far beyond the stage. Fans are separated by massive sections. The upper levels can feel incredibly distant. So Bruno has to create a moment big enough to reach everyone. And that is exactly why the opening moments tonight could be so important. Imagine the stadium lights disappearing. The crowd suddenly becomes one enormous voice. The first visual appears. The anticipation reaches its highest point. And then Bruno Mars walks onto the stage. At that moment, the entire night changes. From waiting to witnessing. From anticipation to reality. The Romantic Tour has returned to America, and the first US stadium stop of this next chapter is officially underway. But there is something else fans should keep in mind. Tonight is only the beginning of the MetLife takeover. Bruno is scheduled to perform again tomorrow night, August 22nd, followed by 2 additional shows on August 25th and August 26th. Official listings confirm all 4 dates at MetLife Stadium. That means East Rutherford is not getting one Bruno Mars night. It is getting 4. And the significance of that cannot be ignored. For stadium dates in one market. For opportunities for fans to experience the Romantic Tour. For nights where every performance could create its own viral moment. And in today's concert culture, that matters. Because one unexpected interaction can become a social media headline within minutes. One vocal moment can become a viral clip. One outfit can dominate fan pages. One dance move can appear across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and X before the concert even ends. And with Bruno Mars, those moments are always part of the conversation. But tonight, there is another ingredient. RAYE. Her presence adds another voice to the evening and gives the audience a chance to experience a different musical style before Bruno takes over the main stage. And then there is DJ P.We. Anderson Paak's alter ego brings a completely different energy. DJ P.We is known for vinyl-focused DJ sets, and MetLife Stadium's official announcement highlights his performances at major events including the Met Gala, F1 Las Vegas, and Coachella. So even before Bruno Mars appears, the atmosphere has already been designed to build. Different sounds, different artists, different energy, all leading toward one headline performance: Bruno Mars. And now, here's the question everyone is going to be asking after the first notes hit tonight. What does Bruno have planned for the return? Will the setlist remain consistent with previous shows? Will the new US leg bring changes? Will the stadium environment create different crowd moments? And will Anderson Paak's presence produce a Silk Sonic surprise? Again, nobody should treat a surprise as confirmed unless it actually happens. But that is precisely why fans will be watching. Because when two artists with that kind of history appear on the same stage, possibilities become part of the excitement. And there is a bigger story behind all of this. Bruno Mars spent years building one of the most recognizable catalogs in modern pop music. Just the Way You Are, Grenade, Locked Out of Heaven, Treasure, 24K Magic, That's What I Like, Uptown Funk, Leave the Door Open, and now the songs from The Romantic. These are not simply tracks. They are memories for millions of listeners. Different songs represent different eras of people's lives. A first relationship, a wedding, party, a road trip, a difficult night, a celebration. And when Bruno performs those songs in a stadium, the audience isn't just listening. They are remembering. That is one of the strongest elements of Bruno Mars' live appeal. He can turn a song into a shared memory. And tonight, MetLife Stadium is about to become a giant collection of those memories. Look around the stadium. Some fans may have discovered Bruno through Just the Way You Are, others through Grenade, some through Silk Sonic, some through Uptown Funk, and a younger generation may be discovering this era through The Romantic. Different generations, different entry points, same artist, same stage. That is what makes the return so significant. The Romantic Tour is bringing all of those eras together. And tonight, the second half of the US tour officially begins. The first American chapter of this stadium run already established the scale. The international portion expanded the story. And now the tour returns home. Back to the United States. Back to massive stadiums. Back to the audience that helped make Bruno Mars a global superstar. MetLife Stadium is the starting point, and the road ahead is long. After East Rutherford, the tour continues through major U.S. cities and stadiums, including Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Foxborough, Indianapolis, Tampa, New Orleans, Miami, San Antonio, and more before continuing toward the West Coast and Canada. Bruno Mars' official tour schedule currently lists numerous U.S. dates through October. So tonight is not the finale. It is the restart. It is the opening chapter of the next phase. And that is why the atmosphere around MetLife feels so different. Fans are not simply waiting for Bruno Mars to perform. They are waiting to see what the next chapter of the Romantic Tour looks like. There is a sense that the production has already been tested across multiple cities. The musicians know the show. The dancers know the choreography. The crew knows the transitions, the lights, the screens, the sound, the timing. Everything has been building toward moments like this. And when the first note hits tonight, the stadium becomes the ultimate test. Can Bruno Mars transform MetLife Stadium into one giant dance floor? Can thousands of fans sing the same lyrics at the same time? Can the new songs receive the same energy as the classics? Can the chemistry between Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak ignite the crowd? And can RAYE's presence make this opening night even more memorable? Those are the questions that will be answered tonight. But one thing is already certain. Bruno Mars is back in America, and East Rutherford is ready. The official event time is 7 p.m., with MetLife Stadium listing doors opening at 5:30 p.m. for the August 21st show. That means the stadium experience begins long before Bruno appears. Fans will arrive early. Traffic will build. Parking areas will fill. Merchandise lines will grow. Social media feeds will begin filling with videos from outside the venue. And inside the stadium, anticipation will continue climbing. Then comes the moment. The lights go down. The crowd screams. And Bruno Mars takes the stage. At that point, everything else disappears. The waiting. The speculation. The countdown. The travel. The tickets. All of it leads to one thing. The performance. And if Bruno's previous live shows are any indication, fans can expect the kind of high-energy production that has made him one of the most celebrated performers of his generation. But tonight's story is bigger than one set list. It is about the return of a major global tour. It is about a new Bruno Mars era. It is about stadium-scale production. It is about the reunion of musical chemistry between Bruno and Anderson Paak. It is about RAYE joining the lineup. And it is about thousands of fans coming together for the first US show of this next chapter. The romantic tour has returned. MetLife Stadium is the stage. East Rutherford is the city. And Bruno Mars is ready to take over. So when the final countdown reaches 0 tonight, remember this moment. Because this is the beginning of 4 nights at MetLife Stadium. August 21st, August 22nd, August 25th, August 26th, for nights that could produce unforgettable performances, viral fan moments, emotional sing-alongs, and perhaps a few surprises along the way. And with Anderson Paak as DJ P.We and RAYE on the lineup, the night already has all the ingredients for something special. The only thing left is the music, the lights, the crowd, and Bruno Mars. After nearly a decade away from a full headlining tour, Bruno has returned to the stadium stage. And tonight, the next chapter officially begins. MetLife Stadium is about to hear the opening notes. The crowd is about to erupt. The romantic tour is back. And Bruno Mars is officially home in America. If you're watching from East Rutherford, New York, New Jersey, or anywhere around the world, this is the moment to join the conversation. Tell us in the comments which Bruno Mars song you want to hear tonight, whether you think Anderson Paak could share a surprise moment with Bruno, and which part of the romantic tour you are most excited to see. And if you want more Bruno Mars news, the romantic tour updates, concert coverage, special guest moments, music milestones, and breaking entertainment stories, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Because tonight is only the beginning. The stadium lights are going down. The crowd is getting louder, and Bruno Mars is about to step onto the stage. The romantic tour has returned, and MetLife Stadium is ready for Bruno Mars. And as the opening night unfolds, there is another detail that makes this return especially important for Bruno Mars fans. The MetLife Stadium shows are not simply another group of dates added to a massive schedule. They represent the moment when the romantic tour reconnects with its American audience after the international chapter of the tour. That transition matters. Every major tour evolves as it moves from one region to another. The audience changes, the atmosphere changes, the scale changes, and sometimes the artist changes with it. By the time Bruno Mars reaches the MetLife Stadium stage, he has already spent months living inside this production. He knows the songs. He knows the choreography. He knows the transitions. He knows exactly how the crowd reacts when the opening notes of a massive hit begin. But there is something an artist can never completely rehearse: the audience. And New Jersey has its own personality. MetLife Stadium sits in East Rutherford, directly across the Hudson River from New York City, meaning tonight's crowd is expected to include fans from both New Jersey and the greater New York metropolitan area. That creates an enormous market around one concert. Fans are not simply traveling from one neighborhood. They are coming from across the region. And for many of them, tonight could be their first opportunity to experience the Romantic Tour live. Every phone held in the air. Every moment when the entire stadium moves together. Because no matter how sophisticated the production becomes, a live concert still depends on a connection between the performer and the audience. And Bruno has built his career around that connection. His performances are designed to make massive crowds feel involved. He points the microphone toward the audience. He lets fans finish lyrics. He interacts with the musicians. He moves between high-energy choreography and quieter moments. And when the chorus arrives, the audience often becomes part of the performance itself. That dynamic will be especially powerful tonight. Imagine tens of thousands of people singing one of Bruno's biggest songs at the same time. The sound doesn't come from the stage alone. It comes from the entire stadium. That is the difference between listening to Bruno Mars through headphones and seeing Bruno Mars inside a stadium. The recording belongs to the artist. The live version belongs to everyone in the building. And tonight, MetLife Stadium becomes part of that story. But there is another element that fans will be watching closely: the musicians. Bruno Mars has always surrounded himself with a highly skilled live band. And that musical foundation is one of the reasons his concerts feel different from a typical pop show. The arrangements can breathe. The musicians can interact. The rhythm section can drive the crowd. And Bruno can move between pop, R&B, funk, soul, rock, and dance influences without making the transitions feel forced. That musical flexibility is one of his greatest strengths. And it becomes even more important in a stadium, because a stadium needs dynamics. If every moment is loud, nothing feels loud. If every moment is fast, nothing feels fast. The biggest concerts understand contrast. A quiet moment can make the next explosion feel enormous. A slower song can reset the audience before the next dance sequence. A close-up on the giant screen can make a performer who is hundreds of feet away suddenly feel much closer. That is where the visual language of a stadium show becomes critical. The screens, the lighting, the camera angles, the stage movement, the pyrotechnic effects when used, the choreography. Everything works together to control attention. And for Bruno Mars, that control has always been part of the performance. 1 second, the stadium could be completely focused on Bruno. The next second, the spotlight could shift toward the band. Then the rhythm changes. The dancers appear. The camera cuts. The audience screams. And suddenly the entire stadium is moving. That is the pattern of a major Bruno Mars concert. But tonight carries one additional layer of unpredictability. Anderson Paak. The man behind DJ Pita, is already deeply connected to Bruno's musical history. Their partnership through Silk Sonic created one of the most memorable collaborations of the past decade. Leave the Door Open became a worldwide phenomenon, and the chemistry between Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak became impossible to ignore. Their voices were different. Their personalities were different. Their performance styles were different. But together, they created something that felt natural. That chemistry is why Anderson's appearance tonight is generating so much conversation. Again, a surprise Silk Sonic performance has not been officially confirmed. And that distinction is important. Fans can speculate. Fans can hope. Fans can dream. But the official information confirms Anderson Paak as DJ P. So the RAYE story begins when the music starts. What will DJ P. bring to the atmosphere? How will the crowd react? And could his presence create one of those moments that becomes the biggest conversation online after the show? Those questions will remain open until the performance happens. And that uncertainty